Let's get back into the LP, everyone. Hello there, KYN here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Long Live Lemmings. So last time, solved the entire fun rank, and so we are on to the tricky rank now. So even for the first rank, not exactly a complete cakewalk. There were still some challenges in there, but for the most part, it does seem just only a little bit harder than the fun rank of Yippee More Lemmings. But it wasn't like much harder though. Um, Even the two slider lows, they weren't like extremely hard though. They were pretty good ones. Especially the first one. But anyway, yeah, we're on to the tricky rank now, so making pretty nice progress. It might not be a pretty long LP after all, but before starting this LP, I actually went in and fixed the standard music rotation. So I replaced the Genesis tracks with the PC DOS tracks because that's the one that I grew up with. Yeah, with the game because I grew up with the DOS version and well, actually the tracks that I really had for the most part was the Canadian one, but eventually I was able to get the music that I originally grew up with. Yeah, I guess it's like the floppy disk version or something. Yeah, so yes, those would be the tracks that would be playing instead of the Genesis versions, and I guess the Canadian DOS version that's like the CD version, I guess, because I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I remember at some point my dad got me the CD-ROM, yeah, for the game, yeah, which combined both Lemmings and Oh No More Lemmings. So yeah, so I just grew up with the music that's on there is the Canadian PC one, but here, yeah, I replaced it, or rather, the ones that are in the standard rotation right now is the like the floppy disk version, I guess you can say. So yes, it is a little bit different from the Canadian version, but it's more or less almost like pretty similar sounding for the most part. So yes, anyway, let's go ahead and get into the let's play now. I think I've done enough talking, and you just want to see me solve these lows and take some action. Alrighty, tricky one. Spoiled for choice. I felt as if there was a lower with a similar spelling there in Yippee More Lemmings. I could be remembering wrong though. So let's see then. Ooh, three of everything skill set. That's very nice. But this is in 6 skill types. Ooh, so these are all movement skills. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, so in other words, there's absolutely no constructive or destructive skills. Yeah, they're simply all movement skills. Ooh. One, two, three, four, five exits, and one, two, three entrances. Okay, so let's see. The lemmings that come out at this entrance, they can just simply walk up, it appears. But yeah, they drop down here. Oh, actually, no. We can actually make them glide, probably. And then for these guys, yeah, they could just float. However, there's only going to be 3 of them that will get floaters. What will happen to the other 3? They could probably use... The other 3 could probably use... Oh, wait. Other 3? 1, 2, 3. No, no, no. I'm sorry. There's going to be 4. 4 lemmings from each entrance. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, these guys will be walking into a sucker trap. Well, some of them. Yeah, these guys could probably just glide. Oh, no, no, I'm sorry. They're not going to be going out to the left here. Can probably jump with some of the ones that slip by. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that allows him through. So we can probably jump with him. You can get a floater. Yeah, I think these, I would just let them walk up. Though... no. No, no, no. Some of these. But actually, yeah, this is currently in the wrong direction here. So I think I would need some of them to like fall down and to set off the splitter. But then again, I think by the time that happens, I think some of these guys will already be they won't be able to like climb up anyway. Yeah, to this exit. Let's see. Yeah, let's see how the rest goes though. Oh, and we have some sliders. So, oh wait, hold on. No, you don't necessarily need a floater. You can just use a slider. Okay, and then let's see. Maybe you guys can get sliders as well. You're gonna turn around to the left. But think about just climb it and then shimmy though. Yeah, maybe that would get someone to set off the splitter faster. Okay, and then I will have one more going out to the right though. This seems to just all be about managing the crowds here. No, then again, maybe a shimmy is best for up here as well. No, but if I use a jumper, then I'm not gonna have anyone. Oh, actually, hold on. The one that goes to the left down here will oh, they could just jump to the exit over there. You can also shimmy as well. Wow, there's like a lot of possibilities you can try here. Well, let me just give you a jumper anyway. And then give you a floater. Give you a floater as well. And you can get a floater. Okay, I haven't exactly used the climbers yet. And then what happens if you glide? Oh, you're gonna go past the exit. Well, what if you glide onto this pole first? Nope, you just go past it. Okay. Okay, so I think that's a problem. However, maybe instead of that, you can do this. Okay. Wait. Oh, I gave him a... Oh, that's right. No, 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 that's not gonna work. Okay. And then... Well, we could certainly make a climber. And then sliders instead. There's another possibility. Oh, wow. Yeah, again, what makes this difficult is just that there's a lot of possibilities you can try here. So, yeah, let's probably try giving them floaters. Let's give you a jumper. Okay, and now I'm out of floaters. I don't exactly feel good about giving them. Oh, and that's right, you're gonna. That's not a splat height, that's pretty interesting. Okay, so it seems that this exit is like completely off limits. Not unless we like maybe jump and shimmy probably. But oh yeah, and then the other shimmiers are coming too. Yeah, so that's a problem. And as a matter of fact, who did I give the floaters to? The last time. Let me just go back to giving them sliders. Wait, why are you? Oh. Okay. Yeah, you really have to be careful when you assign a lemming a slider. So that's something I'm still trying to get used to. Obviously, right? Yeah, I wonder if just using a floater would just trigger off the splitter. No, they actually go past it. That's pretty interesting. Okay, and then we only have 2 shimmiers at this point. So I believe it will work for him. Yeah, then he's just gonna make his way back up. And then we just give him another shimmier, and then he should be able to go to this exit. Okay, so this one... it can definitely get you into a dizzy state, I guess. It's a pretty nice one to start off the rank, though. Alrighty, Tricky 2, take a hike. Yes, this is one of Niesch's contest lows. So yes, I've already played this before. 80 lemmings, 70 to be saved here. Yep. And basically the rule for this contest, for this level was, Niesch entered this into the rule set where you could only use the classic 8 skills here. Yep, classic 8 skills and a bit more than that in that, like for example, water. Yeah, you cannot water. No. I'm sorry. You can use the water. I think that was for the innovator. Yeah, which uses the neolemic skills only. Yeah, that you cannot use water. Yeah, even as decoration. So yes, for the most part, the rule set was just pretty much use classic skills only. So yes, already played this before, so yeah, shouldn't be a problem here. So I'm just going to be more or less trying to like imitate the solution I used, or the one I found. As a matter of fact, I wonder if it's possible to like maybe save some of the lemmings at the very beginning. Yeah, like for example, can I spare to use another builder here? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and if I end up running out builders, then I'll just let some of them fall into the water next time. Yeah, and I'll have him dig too. Yeah, it kind of sucked having to use a couple of blockers there. And again, yeah, this is not a hard level at all. It's just that I'm just trying to like maybe see if I could do better than how I solved it in the when it was a contest low. Yeah, here I'm certain that we could just like go underneath it. Yeah. Though this might cause you to run low on skills though. Okay, and then we would really have to be pretty tight over here though. Okay, and then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop him mid-stroke. Mind the crowd out here. Alrighty, and then as a matter of fact, why do I even have yeah, I feel like the bashers might run out if I'm not careful here. Yeah, because I'm already running pretty low on the destructive skills here. So that's probably not a good thing. Yeah, and then we get up there. Oh, and more, yeah, and I'm also running pretty low on the other skills as well. That's not good. Oh yikes, this is not good. Yeah, and I'm also out of blockers as well. Yeah, and the bomber was not enough to get them out either. Oh yeah, and plus I got the crowd moving, so yeah. So let's not waste an extra builder here then, or rather use an extra builder. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go back and pretty much try to use the solution I used. Although here I'm letting more die than I did before. Actually, you know what? So yeah, pretty much use 2 skills just to avoid the trap trigger. Let's just use a bomber so that it only wastes 1 skill, or rather uses 1 skill. Yeah, and then I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make a digger pit here. That should hopefully stop anyone from... Yeah, perfect. Oops. Okay. That gets him high enough like that. Oh, perfect. Yeah, we could just go ahead and release them right now. So yeah, I guess I technically could have used a builder over there. Yeah, oh well. Alrighty, and then let's go ahead and block here. Perfect. Oh, save your floater. Yep, and then mine the crowd out. There we go. Oh, and he... you know what? Get back down there. Alrighty, 5 over the requirement. And it took far longer than it needed to. But only because I wanted to see how much, like, the maximum I could save there. But anyway, Tricky 3. The L team. 4 lemmings, 4 to be saved. Time limit in 1 minute here. Awesome. I love time limits. Ooh. Whenever everything skills out. I love that. I wonder how the shimmer interacts with the chains up there. Whoop. I didn't want to give him a jumper. I meant to give him a climber. I know, I know. Okay, so no, it's due to that sharp drop there. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, I think this is a pretty good candidate for a shimmer here. Okay, And then, what would happen if we... Well, actually, he could just bash an, what do you call it? Platform across, couldn't he? as for him, he could probably oh, I'm sorry, not shimmy. Fence. So fence, and then you can slide, and then you can go ahead and stack. Oh, I think I missed a couple of cues here. Okay, and then you will need to shimmy. Okay, I see a problem here. Once that's done. This track sounds pretty familiar. Yeah, and then I could just build to get to it. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I mean, I could do that, but these two will still be going out over here, though. However, I have an idea. Yeah, rather than use a stacker there, let's use a builder. Okay, shimmy. Interrupt you with a jumper. And then we're just gonna go ahead and put a stack here. And then that should be it. Okay, so I don't think this is exactly intended, since I had 2 skills left over. Very nice one, though. Alright, tricky 4. If I were a rich lem. 40 lemmings, 38 to be saved here. Okay, only 1 entrance. Okay. Plenty of builders here. Okay. Okay. Seems like we would have to maybe dig down and then build over. Yeah, but once we get over here, might it be possible that we would have to bash to cancel a builder? Okay, we're allowed to lose up to 2 here. Okay, so I think what will need to happen is this. We need to dig down. Alright, and then let's go ahead and start bashing. Okay, block behind them. Okay. And then let's go ahead, build, and bash to cancel. Okay, and then, yeah, can the rest of this just be done with some straightforward building? But yeah, then he'll get killed by the needles trap, unfortunately. Yeah, like that. Okay, and I'm out of bashers. This track sounds pretty familiar. I just can't quite point my finger at what it's called and everything. It sounds very, very familiar. Oh, I know. I know. It sounds like, what do you call it? If I Was a Rich Girl by, Gwen Stefani. Yeah, I think that's where the level title comes from. Hmm. Yeah, so it's just about figuring out the best way to go about this. Hmm. Yeah. This would be too high, wouldn't it? Yep, for sure. But, what happens if I use a slider? Nope, he doesn't survive either. Okay. Yep. If he's allowed to build a full-length staircase, yeah, then he splats. But, what happens if I just use a more straightforward path? Yeah, then would just work. Yeah. Okay, then that's like too high for them. Okay, Hmm. Hmm. Wait. We could do this, couldn't we? I'm not sure we're gonna run out of builders this way, but I think this will work. Naturally. No. Let's have him block. Okay, and I'm not gonna destroy the staircase. Why? Nope. Okay. Maybe those I should have checked. Okay, that works. There we go. So a slider and a bomber left over, and even went one over the requirement. Very nice level though. A lot harder than I thought it'd be. Tricky fight. Thin blue lines. 10 lemmings tend to be saved here. Ooh, 3 of everything skill set. So 2 movement skills and then 2 constructor skills as well. Okay, but here we have to save everyone. Okay. This does not look easy. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Okay, well, actually, how far can you jump? Okay. But you can drop down here. Yeah, then be able to leap to the next platform. Okay, if we platform as far back as we can. Oh, are these actually upside down? Ooh. Oh. For some very odd reason, I did not see that the projection shadow actually reached the platform here. I thought he was just gonna like fall short and then like fall into the water or something. No, it's my eyes not working properly. Oh, but eventually at some point we will need to bridge across here though. Yeah, at least because of the future limits that come out of the entrance. Let's have you shimmy. And then, yeah, I guess you can platform. And then, yeah, maybe we can have him jump on ahead. Oh, it just takes 2 boaters. Not unless we went over here, I guess. As a matter of fact, let's check that, shall we? No, boater doesn't quite reach. But we can go up here, though. I kind of like what we did over here better. Let's have you shimmy. And then let's go ahead and have you jump. And then you can build. You shimmy. And then you build the rest of the way. Ah, perfect. Oh, that's right, he turns around. Yikes. Yeah, and you can't build it. However, yeah, you can just platform the rest of the way across, though. Although, that's not gonna work out too well, is it? Yeah, that happens. No, you end up losing 2 of them. So, as a matter of fact, let's have you do that. Hmm. As a matter of fact, yeah, what happens if we start platforming right away? Oop. Ah. Yeah, then the others come too soon. Whoops. So I think what needs to happen is that he needs to platform all the way at the very edge. Ah, come on. Yeah, maybe at least close to it. There we go. Alrighty. This was a bit harder than I thought it'd be. Still a pretty nice one. Maybe I just made it harder on myself than I needed to, but, well. This works, so I'll go with it. Alrighty, and then, yeah, I think I'll take this on as well, since it is the final lower Tricky. Tricky 6. Easy when you know the trick. 80 Lemmings, 76 to be saved. LLL. Long Live Lemmings. Ooh, classic. I like those. Classic skills only. Okay, and only one digging destructive skill. Well, I think it's pretty obvious it's using builders to keep a miner going. I think that's pretty obvious. So, now the question is, how to best set it up, though. Here we can just simply bomb them out. Okay, they walk their way up, and then they're contained right here, in this area. And then, let's see. Let me see. We'll likely have to, like, maybe start a miner right here. Yeah, could probably also, although here, oh, hold on. Yeah, here we'll just have to work simultaneously here. Yeah, because here we'll have to get a climber down here. Yeah, and hopefully I placed it correctly. And here you would need a floater because you're gonna splat. Okay, and then he should be maybe going around here, so. So I think we just need to start building the instant he hits the ground. Perfect. Let's see. Do we need to make a platform for them, though? I don't think we do. Oh wait, did he get cancelled? I didn't decancel him, okay. Because he was just a pixel too far. Okay, he unfortunately climbs in there. Although, I can certainly save him with a builder, though. Oh. As for you... Yeah, you will need a climber bomb. Oh! That's steel! Oh! Oh, now that I did not know. Okay. Maybe not such a piece of cake. seems that we either have to aim high or aim low. But here, yeah, can we? No, we cannot start mining there. Just trying to see if it's possible to make a builder wall here. It is, but like it uses up 3 builders in the process, which might be a little too much. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like they'll be able to get through that. Seems like they would have to like go the other way or something. Although here we're allowed to lose up to 4, so maybe I'm just overcomplicating this. Yeah, I'm probably just overthinking. Most likely. Just let's see. Whoops. No, this ends up being too low for them. Or rather, too high, sorry. No, does he even need a floater? Yeah, he does, okay. No, it's too high. I didn't think that would work. Okay. We could certainly start building our way up, I would think. Oh, he doesn't even turn around. You know, what happens if we just like block the end over there? Okay, and then there's only enough to build to the exit. Okay, I totally underestimated this here. No, we could certainly just use a blocker here, couldn't we? Let's try setting up for a head. No, it's not like that though. Yeah, he went exactly, all the way over there. Let's see though. But, let me see. What happens when we send someone over? Yeah, I mean, we could bomb, except we wouldn't be able to get to the exit. Plus, what happens if I mine this away? Okay, yeah, it becomes a survivable drop. Yeah, but then the problem is right up there as well. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is Mastermind, isn't it? This is just like Mastermind from Mausoleums. Yeah, because you block, and then block again to turn him around. Yep, it's most definitely that. Ooh, clever. Very clever. This is super clever. Just like the title says, easy when you know the trick. Alrighty, and then hopefully, just hopefully, everything's set up correctly here. Now we just need to make sure that we block in the right places so as to keep the miner going. Okay, you need the bomb. Let's try a little lower. There we go. Okay, and you need to build so you don't walk into the fire and die. Oh wait, no, we need a builder there. Yeah, so we need to send 2 more climbers. Okay, and then he catches him, unfortunately. Okay, let me see. Oh. No, you need to drop down. Okay, and then, yeah, maybe start building there. Okay, and then let's go ahead and send you up. Okay, and then you need a floater. Okay, and hopefully I placed the builders correctly here. Oh, wait, what happened there? Oh, that climber just... 78. It might be necessary to put a blocker at the very end there. Or rather on this platform right there. Nope, that's perfect. And then... oh, perfect. However, I've lost one more than is necessary. Oh, actually, did I? Yep, one more than is necessary. Yeah, all because of that climber that went in there. So, because of that, though. So, that makes me wonder. I mean, even if I have him climb up out of here, yeah, he still would have, get fried eventually. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so I can't afford to have that climber go in there. So it probably just means that I just need to move the builder out a little more, maybe. Yeah, or I just need to mine at a later time. Yeah, but then he gets there, so... Let me see if I could... like, adjust that builder position a little. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a simple matter of trying to get the builder. There we go. That's perfect. Nope. Ah, you got interrupted. Let me see. So, you're telling me that I placed this builder incorrectly then? Yep, I'm gonna have to do it again. Yeah, and you also have to start the miner at the right time as well, in sync with that climber. Good. Well, and then place that builder too far. Good, I see him still going. And hopefully I can get this blocker placement correct as well. Nope. There we go. However, I got some trapped on the other side. There we go. Yeah, it's a very nice one, but it's a bit heavy on the precision. Alrighty. Very good low. Definitely reminds me of Mastermind from Mausoleums. Alrighty, so that is Tricky completed, so that brings us to Taxing, which I will cover next time. I hope you enjoyed this video of the Let's Play, and I'll see you all next time.